Hello, welcome to the special guest here on the BJ Show podcast. And I'm going to share with you all this really special guest. But we would like to thank you to the Blackwood Community Centre with all the hard work and support, and as well the Mitchell Council. So let's get on why we're here at the Blackwood Community Centre. It's such a fantastic community that they have provided as a podcast as myself, hopefully sensational. If you're ever interested, we'll go to the friendly staff at the Blackwood Community Centre, and then we can sort something out. But anyway, let's get on with the show. All right, so today's guest, first time on board, we met through basketball in inclusive basketball program in the statement called Springbank, and I don't know how long we know each other. We'll get to that very soon, but let's welcome to our guest, Jace. Welcome, mate.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, so it's something about let's just tell us about yourself, mate.
I don't know where to start. So obviously, just like Ben said, I've been playing basketball with Pasadena for probably 8 years, pretty sure. Then along the way, I probably met Ben. And then I'm a fanatic, so I love my sport. You can talk to me about sport all the time, and I won't stop talking about it. Live with my parents at home, which I look after them sometimes. So I'm not having support my girlfriend as well. Oh God, I play games for a living, playing at home. I work at Spotlight, so I'm only a casual worker. So my spare time is just sports. That's the main thing.
It is 12 years, eh? So we know that before we went on the air, there's so many sports you like, such as soccer, European soccer, but I like the European side. We'll share that in a moment. AFL, the NBA, so the National Basketball Association, and the National Basketball League in Australia. So before we get into that side of it, this is your first year playing inclusive footy.
Yep, it sure is.
So tell us who got you interested playing for Goodwood Saints inclusive.
A load of people. So Hugo got me into it a bit. Plays for Goody as well. So he kind of said maybe I should try and get into that. Then I think you back before when I started getting to know you a bit, you kind of said, "Oh, you should try and with the inclusive footy." Like growing up playing sport and that, you're going to bump into those little downhill moments where school gone and that. So that stopped me from playing both soccer and footy. Started basketball by being told, look, you've got height for it, so why don't you try out for a team and that? Tried out for the West Adelaide Bearcats. That goes planned, as they said. We kind of need players that are going to bring us to where we are, the league. And then I got told to come to inclusive. But besides that, footy, yeah, so a bunch of mates, including you, Ben, and then my girlfriend having her support me. She said to me, look, you should try and get to play footy. So I looked at the options, and Goodwood Saints were the only one that was decently close to where I live. Went to their trainings, and then I just enjoyed it. Everyone's so nice, and that I became a Saint. So first season's been really fun for me. Loving to go out there and playing with friends and against friends, especially like you when you play with Kenilworth, Brad, and everyone else. So yeah.
So that sounds really good as well, mate. And football is a really good way of it's not just staying fit, and it's the challenge part of that, but also just being with your mates and having a crack. It is a contact sport as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You're socializing well. So like I started socializing with basketball players at Pasadena, and then eventually everyone got to notice me very well. And then now that I'm playing at Goodwood, making some friends along the way from even other clubs, like my mate called Jacob from Christie's, Thought he was a really nice, cool dude. I think out of the whole league, there's a lot of I know a lot of mates from Kenilworth, especially Goodwood. Meeting people from other clubs is fantastic 'cause you're socializing, and then when you're on the field, you are wanting to be a winning team, but as well, you're like going out to mate, so and then you're just having fun with it. It's fantastic, loving it.
That's great. So, on the subject of the inclusive and playing for Goodwood, so what positions have you played at Goodwood this footy season?
Yeah, so they put me in halfback for a little bit, then they put me in fullback. Something interesting, like playing against really tough sides, we get a lot of work done backline. Put me in forward for a little bit to see how I was doing with my kicking, but because it's my first time actually playing footy in a league, my kicking hasn't been significant at the moment, but I'm still learning process. And I've got a lot of amazing people who have been teaching me, such as Franz, who's I think an amazing ruckman. He's puts his body all into that ball, and it's just really crazy to watch him do that. Got my girlfriend who has never played footy before. She's kicked a couple of good goals when I've seen her train with Goody. So and then support work and that. But yeah, so I've been playing forward for a little bit, and I realized I should be a wing person. They put me in the wing for a majority of the season, and I've played a bit of ruck rover in the midfield a little bit more. And then they said to me against Teacher Gully, "We're going to put you in ruck, mate." And I'm like, "Oh, I was a bit I was panicked a little bit, but I actually had a good time. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. So got to experience all the positions, and then hopefully next season they might even tell me which position just to stay in for a meanwhile.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, 5 years ago, I started as a defender. Now, I've never went up forward. My first year against Christie's, I kicked one or two goals, and I'll never ever forget my very first goal under Kenworth at Christie's. And they're all right team, they're some great talent. Yeah, players are struggling and at Christie's Footy Club and for hopefully, someone's got, is interested playing footy, go to Christie's to fill up those numbers. But
Yeah,
I've been with Kenworth and yes, won so many, made premiership made grand finals, and it's so unusual to play in my first year to make a grand finals appearance. Playing your first year's finals, it's very unusual, and playing finals in your first year, being proud because I tell you, I think, Goodwood are going, we're never going to think you guys are going to be easy. Same with us, never, ever, ever think, Atherstone, never think they're going to be easy. You think they're going to be like, okay, they're going to be a challenge, but never ever, even you versus the weakest team, for example, make this short, but and move on with the show, but the West Coast Adelaide game. Well, West Coast's best part they did is pressure the ball.
they pressured it. They gave the Crows something to work with, like they did it against Port Adelaide. Like I went to that game and I was like, "We're gonna beat West Coast." We were being smashed in that first half. No, I can't imagine seeing losing to West Coast, a bottom ladder team who
Yeah.
won a grand final in 2018 and now have just struggled with having their players go on the field and get completely smashed by a team but yeah, no, we got in there at the end, which was really good, and same did Crows. They made sure they kept kicking goals. The only issue was West Coast were wanting to do a big upset, and they almost got away with it into that fourth quarter where Crows were just kicking it to Phil Fort. He's just a big man, and they can give it to him. He's not like Tex Walker. Like once he's in that centre, he's even got three opponents going against him, and he's still can't.
Yeah.
They can't beat him. And fun fact: Phil Fort played for Goodwood Saints.
That's right. Yes.
He played. Don't know exactly what grade level. I think he played with the A's for a while, and then got selected Crows. And honestly, as I'm a Port supporter, I find him playing Crows really deteriorate, like very annoying because he's such a fantastic player. My girlfriend got to meet him at when a special event at Goodwood, which was made me a bit jealous. But if I was there, I would have said something probably a bit mean to him. But no, I love Phil Fulk when he's coming down to Goodwood Saints because he's an inspiration to everyone. But just when he plays against like Ford or anyone else, I'm like pass it.
Yeah. Well, an interesting fact: the mother playing for the Crows is Roy Ladd, and I've actually met him. I'm taller than him, but he's actually a really nice bloke. He actually did some because he was a cricket junior, like Kenilworth junior player, and he's actually helped out with the juniors, and Kenilworth is growing their juniors fantastic. I know if you did play for the juniors is now at Goodwood. So, we're very much we're like neighbours to neighbours, hey, how are you? But when we're on the footy field in the season, it's different. When we're all
Like said it to a lot of people, and like Ben just said, mental health isn't a disability. Disability is where someone's got like autism, Down syndrome, and something that's happened when they've grown up, like ADHD, which you classify obviously that's a disability and that, but having mental health and going up against a guy that doesn't show it and has like tats going down his arm or something, and you got these big blokes who have nothing that don't show anything wrong with them, and then they just murder us. They're like one of my obviously I don't want to really bring it up. Kilburn, we played Kilburn at Kilburn. I thought that oval was absolutely fantastic. I actually love that oval because everything looks very nice and neat. The oval was just nice and clean, perfect scoreboard, and it's a big oval. It's just the only problem is the players, and it's about fairness. You got to be playing fair, and you got to treat players with respect.
okay. So part of was inclusive sport basketball. So you've been playing for the inclusive basketball program on Monday nights for how many years?
I said, like I said to you at the beginning, I said, I think possibly 8, 8 years, very strong and happy with it. Like, started in Diamond League, obviously, and then worked my way up to Prem. I did stay in the Diamond League one particular year where one of my mates, I influenced him. Well, I didn't force him to, but I thought he should try and maybe consider joining, and he did. George, I can't say his name because his name is like really long. George Neoglius. George, you're listening to it. I hope I'm right. Yeah, no, I got him into it, and he's loved it ever since. He's still playing till it's every day. And then I got other mate joined, Daniel Magor. He's sport. He's really jealous of him because his sport is absolutely amazing. He played cricket when he was growing up. Then he joined. Then he stopped to another house, and then didn't play any sport till then. And then when I met him in high school, I played basketball, can kick a footy, and I said, "You got to do something with it. You like be a star player, do something," but he never did because he was going through some issues. And then he eventually came to me and George one day and said, "I want to play inclusive," and I'm like, "We're shocked." Obviously, he's playing still every day. He plays with my girlfriend Sarah and George, so they're on the same team, and I coach that team as well. So a bit of a rundown. I coach Champions League. I have won 2 grand finals in a row with the Stars. Then me and my girlfriend have now started coaching together as a duo with the Lions, who are doing pretty well, playing absolutely fantastic basketball last Monday. Diamond League with Sarah, Daniel and George. They play for the Warriors and they're second on the ladder. They're doing really fantastic. And as for myself, playing with Flames, Wayne, and Alicia. I do want to talk about Brad and Wayne though. I find those two absolutely fantastic people. Inspiration to me. I don't know about you, Ben, because you have played with Brad. Don't know about Wayne, but both of them are absolutely fantastic people. Wayne having a lot of skill and Brad as well. Big inspiration to my life. They started playing when I started playing Prem. I was with Wayne for the very first time, and he kind of welcomed me into the league as well as Alicia. And then after that season, when I officially started Prem, I was with Brad for I think 2 seasons, won 2 grand finals in a row with him and and I was just very inspired by him, and I was very thankful to play with him. But then, obviously, with this how the system runs, it's you've got to move players around to make it more fair. There's a lot of teams struggle in the league, so everyone moves around. But it's also about socializing. So I met a lot of great people along the way. So, but no, very you're gonna bump into that special person, and they're gonna be a biracial.
Yeah, so interesting fact there, James. I've got so much experience of coaching and I can't remember, oh, if I can remember roughly when I start coaching, and I've learned one particular person has taught me, but December this year will be my 20th year non-stop playing this comp. And I'll tell you right now, it's crazy because I've got a mate of mine. So I went to a school was used to be in Maui, called named St. Anne's. And a fellow that I used to do indoor soccer, and I'll share that a little bit down the track, but he got me into basketball named Jack Jaw. And he got me deeply into basketball. Now, I didn't know anything about basketball. One thing is I can remember, Jay, never wear sandals playing basketball. I was only 11 years old. I'm unbelievable. Like I wasn't in basketball gear. I'm like, you need to wear enclosed shoes, mate. No, I never got told. Mum and Dad never got told. And I remember the basketball program used to be run by a fella named Danny, and he run the program for a really long time as well. There's been a few people who've run the program, but you've been around with Paul and Renita. So how many grand? I have I have been with both Brad and Wayne. One year we were totally dominating with Trevor, Brad's dad, and we totally dominated. And Brad went overseas because basketball commits and lost the chance of making grand final. So that was just painful. That another year that I have surgery on my knee, which is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll explain that offline. But so I couldn't make to that final because I had stitches, so I couldn't play in the butt for a week or two, but it's life. But tell me something, and I've been coaching and trying to remember, I think it was just before I was in high school, just after, I think it was 2012, 2013, and I went for over 10 years. I took a season off recently because I need a break. I just need a break because the situation is I've done it for so long, and so many grand finals are made appearance incredible. I've been with Toby. Toby does do an inclusive podcast, maybe very briefly, but we'll share that very soon. But so he doesn't share that in a big way. He's actually quite, in my opinion, you want to know about share your podcast, you've got to share it.
Yes.
It's so important. And I have enjoying his podcast, and with Todd. And I think it's a fantastic podcast. And I've been doing this podcast for too long, like almost 4 years, 3, 4 years now in September. So in the next week will be 4 years. So I have to count how long that. Look, getting back to this inclusive basketball, look, there used to be two divisions, and I used to be with a few I went to school with. Quite a few I know from that basketball program, which you have met like over the last 8 years, which is they're great people, but I know from mainly like Toby, Catherine, a few others, but used to be in like I said, the second division, and they introduced the third division when Paul took over. Now, it wasn't called inclusive basketball. The word inclusive for this kind of sport wasn't even a thing. So how can I coach, good players are too good for this comp. They need to go up. So now they've got a fourth division, which is fantastic all over.
It's absolutely
It's gone to a new level.
It's gone. So basically, Champions League, it's mixed with Champions League and Diamond League players who don't get much of the ball. So you got Champions League, you've got don't know if you have any clue who these players are. Like I've coached Patrick, Todd, such as those people like Patrick and Todd. When I coached them, they were the dynamic duo. Like they carried the stars. I was like not in a mean way, like a really good way. They shared the ball as much as they can. I used to call Patrick that really big, the Russian bag. Literally, he gets that ball and he bounces and then he gets it in. And he's still got a long way to go, but he's coaching those two were really a fun time, especially winning 2 grand finals with them. I started coaching. Paul got me to coach them wouldn't know when, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. No, probably 3 years ago. And
Yeah.
because I keep forgetting basketball is always 2 seasons in within a year. But no, he came, he sent me a text and he said, we're low on coaches, and he said Champions League, and I was like, for real? Like, big honor. Like, I thought it was fantastic because I had no experience. All I knew was how to dribble basketball and shoot. That's it. Like, coaching was a big level for me, and to learn and socialize yet again. And coaching the Stars, first season, bit of a rocky start because I was getting used to the players. But by the second season, we were flying through, and they'd got their first ever grand final. Because apparently, Paul, I think, told me the Stars never won a grand final, and I'm kind of emotional because I've seen the whole team so happy. And then obviously going to win back to back was fantastic. Then we played third season of grand finals, but obviously we went against a really tough team run by a really great coach who's a really good mine as well. And but yeah, no. Then from there it goes down. But the main thing is they're having fun out there. You know, they're skiing goals, even if it's a win or lose. You're there and you're having fun. And
Absolutely.
I don't think there's been a couple of times where but I think it's mostly Prem. I've never seen in Champions League at all. No drama whatsoever. No arguments, no fights, nothing, which has been fantastic. And having that Gold League now mixed with some Diamond League players in Champions League, it's a fair league. You know, you got some teams that have the stronger teams, and then see how it plays out. You know, like I don't pay much attention to it because it's all mixed within the same times as Diamond League coaching and Prem, you know, so you don't get to really watch their games. But I have gotten glances at them, and they're they look like everyone's having fun and getting much of the ball. Unlike in Diamond League and Prem, well, Prem everyone gets a lot of the ball because it's a very fast-paced league. But honestly, my own opinion, I find Diamond League very fast-paced because when I started coaching Sarah and Daniel and that, it was like quick as hell. I couldn't focus on where the ball was and that, like that. They brought the ball up and down, and it's really fast paced. And but in Prem, it's all about patience, and then when the time comes, your team's gonna score or something out of it, you know. So
Yeah, so I have, like I said, I've coached for such a long time. And like I said, getting back to what I was saying about this type of person named Tracy, and one thing you never do is shout. It's like shout at a child. Now, this person in the room named Sal, your girlfriend, I've actually coached her. Why she went up a division with another fella, we're not another team player. And the way I coach them is, yes, you go down division not getting confidence, and it's saying I think that's unfair. Then going up the next division proves I have done my part. May not get a contribution. Well done, BJ. You done so well with these 2 days improving. Thank you so much for coaching. So it doesn't matter if you win a medal round. I've learned this in national with Special Olympics. My 4th year, I had 6 new national champs coming, national championship, and for basketball. Now I'll be if the coach chose me, if they chose a captain, I'm more likely to be there because of my experience. And I told them, enjoy the experience, don't worry about the medal, because the medal is a luxury. It's like when you win money, it's a luxury.
no,
Yeah. So tell me something like the team I'm coaching, I do not care if we win or lose. All about giving them a go. It
yes,
is a competition. Yeah, everyone wants to be a winner, but I have struggled to have, and I get annoyed of hearts, that we brought a new fella into the team, which changing over to another team, and to make my team a little bit balanced. And I was so happy. I was so happy because I missed Patrick and Todd as well. I coached them,
yep,
so we've made a few grand finals, I haven't made a grand final for so long, but I had to realise that how can I change my coaching but it's not about, okay, who's who, because that's not. I think that's a lot, it's all about giving a go. And one thing is really important is catching the ball, giving them a
yes,
go. And
yes,
that's what it's actually all about. And I've got a few players have that. I can have the weakest team and still win. It's
Exactly.
common. It is common.
Same here. I could name a couple of players as well, but
Yeah, so that
yep,
there's not the thing of a weak team, but there's always everyone's a champion on a team. So,
exactly.
and you can have, like I said, you can have the slowest to the quickest, and the slowest can win. You
Yep,
know,
I've seen that happen
I,
before.
I don't like the word weak because no one's weak of
No.
any. You do your best. Last season, and I'll make this very brief. No one in history in the Premier League, known for Premier, you're part of that making mate in a very short term. No one ever all but won each game and won more than 50 points on average. And there was a question on that, and we actually, unfortunately, I wasn't well for that grand final. And actually, I saw the last stat, and I think it was a very even game. Everyone wasn't there, so but I since I've played basketball and football, it's changed my life. I've improved myself in 5 years. So I just want to let you know, mate, it doesn't take a year or two. It could take 5 years.
Yes.
And you got plenty in the tank and more than me.
Yeah.
I've got plenty myself, but I'm coming at the end of my days. I'm almost at 100 games Kenilworth. So
Wow.
you're a long way, mate.
I'm long. Yep, I'm very
Yeah,
far away. So yeah, I know.
and mate, enjoy every. And I know that you have great leadership at Goodwood, and I know that for a fact that they'll look like you said, Francis, Luke.
Oh no, Luke's fantastic. He looks
Yeah,
after the club. Well, like God, like there's so many. I don't want to like keep calling them like same names and that, but yeah, like Luke, Jesse, even I actually find really good leadership from other clubs, like obviously Brad. He's obviously looking at him, and he's actually really kind on the field. Like even when we first played you this season, I think I tried to do a really good tackle or something, and or no, I don't really remember. There was a moment where I got rid of the ball, and it was probably really good. But then it went straight to one of you guys, and then you kicked the goal. Brad just goes, "Still, that was a really good kick," and I'm glad to have someone tell me that I did something good. I'd rather have someone go, "Why did you not kick it or pass it off?" And if you want to, like, it's always good to like if you get a mark, take it in because I've had that moment a couple of times where someone recently against Teachy Gully or no Appleton in the finals. I was wide open in near 50, and no one was near me. And I called out Luke's name, and he kicked straight towards me. And I was like, I got it because no one's near me, and I marked it. And I felt very proud that I did something without screwing it up. And I didn't get to do really. It was not the best kick, but it still got to Ethan, and he tried to do a banana kick around, but that went to become a behind. I still feel like if it was a little bit more higher, he could have gotten up and got that mark. But still, I hope to find that I did. I still got my team to that point where we were at closing a goal, getting our team back into the game. But Abston really strong sides.
yeah, we got a lot to up for a challenge, but okay. Moving from side from inclusive because we've gone
Yes.
quite a bit, and anyone's listened to this. This is actually important to know most terms of any sort. So yes, you go for Port Adelaide, you're
Yep.
proud, yep, all respectful. If someone is against a team quite rudely, that's not a true person. And
Yes.
you like to encourage other people. I know we're not going to say this name. You just said it early in the show.
Yeah.
Go for that team, but he's a true Crow and a North supporter, which I am as well. I'll be going to the North Central's game, and I cannot wait. But look, I tell you, right now, we have interviewed the Chandlers, especially PJ and not Richie, but they are diehard Central supporters, and they can, when it's a good time to make a stir of the pot about football, it's fine. But when it's not, before a game of football, it is not the right time. And I tell you right now, you can do it after and never before because it puts that person off. But yet, I'm the close and all that. So we spoke this off the end. Now, share what team you go for. I know the team, but tell us what team
We're
you
talking
follow.
about European
No, what team do you follow in the NBA?
in the NBA. Boston Celtics, I'm such a proud supporter. I have a lot of merchandise at home. I've got came back from Melbourne, got a poster of their champion winning year. Fantastic. They like loving how they play. That was probably the best year I've ever seen because we were top of the ladder in the league and the conference. Remind you that we were top of the conference, and then we just smashed through the whole playoffs, beating the Heat. I hate the Heat. So sorry,
Yeah,
Heat fans.
agreed.
I just find the Heat. You guys had some really great players now, but you've lost Jimmy Butler to Golden State. But we all knew that he was going there. Did follow Lakers when I started knowing about the NBA.
Interesting to know about that.
Yeah, because well, Kobe era as well.
Yes.
But then I did bandwagon at the point where I downloaded the app, found them on the bottom of the ladder, and then I saw Boston on the top, and I really liked their logo, so I thought I will become an Irishman. Boston isn't really Irish, so it's just how their accents are very different. So, but no, love Boston. Don't have a particular favorite player. Like I do like. I was only looking at him. I was looking at his name, Clayton, something Clayton. I don't know. And I found him really intriguing because that whole year when we won the league, he was hitting half court shots, like probably like a couple times in that league, and then he just finished it off, winning the title at home and hitting a half court shot, which was buzzing. No, I have that saved on my phone many, many times. So yeah.
Yeah. So interesting that you started with the Lakers. I used to go, I'm Lakers. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with purple. And it does, yes, to do with Kobe Bryant and Amaze. Yes. So yeah, why Kobe Bryant? The amazing fella. Like I used to go for the Phoenix Suns.
Ooh,
Say Nash, why Phoenix Suns? Don't know why. I got a
they just stand out, or you were just barracking
yeah.
for a team that are very competing, but you just like it's with European. I always back up for the teams that haven't done really well and deserve something. So like Liverpool supporter, but I was really happy Tottenham got a trophy them that long, and it was just emotional seeing them, especially going against your team.
We'll discuss a bit very
Yep,
briefly of that.
definitely.
So we need to get on with the continue on the show. But like I said, yeah, Phoenix is still part of my. I don't mind them. They were struggling quite a long time. They recently won a championship, but didn't go through with them. I've always been don't know why Lakers. So
Historical. It's a historical.
moving on, yes, European soccer. So soccer, we discussed about that, but that was my partly of your favourite sport is Liverpool, Man United. So cricket. Were you
Oh,
like?
cricket. It's
Yeah,
hard to talk about that because
yeah,
I,
we'll make this really the shortest.
yes, because I know
To
cricket. It's fun to watch. Like the World Cup. Like I did actually stay up to watch. When Australia played India.
yeah,
In India, and I watched the when Australia were fielding. I saw India were batting, and then I fell asleep before even Australia batted, but woke up and then I found out Australia came back and won that. With the Big Bash, I do like to go. I went to watch it for the first time. I thought I loved it because I understood how it went, and it was really quick to understand it. It's just it's it's not really it's a slow game. Would you
yeah.
say that?
A little bit. When there's music, there's entertainment, and I do enjoy it. We have been gone with Hugo a couple of times, and we haven't won actually. But they've struggled for so many seasons, and when we come good, we're like a really good team. But when that part, there's one more thing, and then the LA 36ers cannot like
Oh no.
the team. I actually watched some highlights on KO Sport Wednesday the 27th, and I was at actually on League Bowling, and I didn't realise they were playing against the Hawks. 2025 NBL 25 champ. They haven't won a championship since 2002. So, look, pre-season basketball for me, it's great because you play a couple games and then I think they've got some European basketball
We do.
teams.
Yeah, we
And
do.
I just can't wait to see them in action.
36ers, just saying this now, we're in it this time. We've got Bryce Cotton we stole him from Perth, arch rivals. And once I woke up and heard the news, I was freaking out. I had to call my girlfriend Sarah, and I was like, "We've got Bryce Cotton," and she was kind of confused until I showed her who he was, and she got really excited. Montrezl Harrell having another big guy. Him and Isaac Humphreys, two really, really tall players, unbeatable. I've had spoken to a couple of people who think about Montrez. One of them discards him and doesn't really like him, but he's helped the clubs. We played finals for the first time last season, and we made it. We beat the first final. I think it was an elimination
Against Sydney, I think.
Sydney. Yeah, we beat Sydney.
Sydney. I saw that game and the way that, the team, yes, we did still struggled.
We did.
Mike Wells, big proud, mate, because, we do have young talent, like local talent,
Talents, yes.
which what we're all about. We should. Good to have some international talent, but most important, the new generation, as they call it, it's just a new level for the National Basketball League. Come to Australia and play this level.
Yes.
It's huge.
It's fantastic having European and American players who have gone Australia. They've got a league, and with Montrez coming here, some have actually thought maybe of coming. Like we're hearing there was going to be news that I don't got his first name. I think it's Matthew Lillard. I don't know, one of the Lillards. He said there was rumors that he would come here, but I think majority of Melbourne. But I think that was false, and I think it was fake. I'm not quite sure. But no, Montrez has kind of brought and given ideas to Americans that you don't have to play in the NBA. If you're getting to the point where you're like Montrez, who I think he was getting to the point where he's getting tired, wants a break from the NBA, go to Australia, play a couple games, play a couple seasons like what he's doing now. He's on his contract for this year, and that's done. Then I think he's going back to the NBA. But it's giving other American NBA players ideas that they can go take a break and come back. So and I think that's what Montrez is doing. He's going to go back to the NBA next season. This is, like I said, 36ers are going to be going through a really good year, stolen some really great players, and I'm already in the hopes of getting a Guernsey Rice Cotton.
Yeah, well, when I found that, and some also, Jack White, he's another one. He played for Melbourne. I can't remember that young fella. He's from New Zealand.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cheltenham or something. But yeah, no,
he played for Melbourne United. A few for Melbourne United actually as well. So anyway, mate, look, thank you so much for coming on, and we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, no, I'd love to, man. I'm so happy being on here. I love, it's kind of a good way to have people know who I am. And literally, like I said, I talk nonstop about sports, so I'm so sorry if I got carried away.
No, that's all right. All good.
No, I loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
So that's our guest, Jace. Thank you so much. So once again, that's the intro from the Mitchell Council and Blackwood Community Centre for today's show and sponsor. So as all, stay tuned for more exciting episodes. All right, thank you all.
Laters.
BJ shows out. Bye for now.